And any individual who is subjected to thousands upon thousands, millions even, of negative, critical voices all coming at you, what human being in the world is not going to be affected by that?
What do you think is driving Prince Harry, and why do you think he's revealed so much in this book, Honey?
Well, it's really important that we don't sort of try to speculate too much about what's inside anybody else's mind when we haven't examined them. We don't know. He's not my client, and if he was, I obviously wouldn't be giving any interviews about him. So it's really important that I don't sort of speculate too much what's in Harry's mind. But what I can tell you, based on my sort of long career and expertise working with public figures, that's what I specialise in. My company, Onset Welfare, that's what we do. We work with production companies around the world, and we support people who are living and working in the public eye. That's our remit, if you like. And that gives us a particular insight because several times over the years we've had clients, or we've had people that we've been working with who are sort of inverted commas celebrities, high profile figures. We've worked with politicians, we've worked with all sorts of people who have decided, I'm going to do a tell-all book, or I'm going to do an interview and blow something wide open, or I'm going to tell people like it is. And I would say that that gives us a bit of an insight as to what generally, in our experience, motivates that kind of decision. I know a lot of people have been saying that this is all about the money and all of that. I would really question that, because I think Harry and Meghan are extremely high profile world figures who could make money in a variety of different ways. Anybody with a public platform and a public profile, let's face it, there's lots of different ways they can monetize that platform. I would say that in our experience, when somebody really starts to share revelations, things that they've never told never been told before on a public stage, there's often an emotional driving force behind that has usually, in our experience, come from a long period of feeling like they weren't necessarily able to tell their truth as they see it. Obviously, it's always as somebody sees it themselves, because perhaps there have been advisors, there might have been agents, there might have been PR teams, there might have been sort of checks and balances on what people say to the media when someone is very, very high profile. And often it comes at a time when someone is saying, actually, I'm not prepared to sort of keep a lid on all of this anymore. I want to let it out. I want it to be coming from the horse's mouth. And I want to tell everybody what is actually true from my own mouth. And we saw a lot of this. So, for example, I've been working in this field with public figures for over 20 years. And we saw a lot of this happening when social media first became a big thing, and in particular when the blue tick came out. So when all of a sudden lots of our clients, lots of the celebrities we were working with, suddenly were having blue ticks against their name on social media, and they were able to talk directly to their fans, their followers. We found a lot of people saying, right, now I'm going to tell everybody this, or no one can censor me as much. And so I think to a certain extent, when we see a high profile figure doing that, it is often because of some sort of frustration or some sort of period of time in their career or their life when they felt unable to do it, and then the lid comes off.
No, I think that there's so much there, and you definitely, we all know for a fact that clearly lots of stuff has been, kind of simmering away. And also, Prince Harry has had a lot of things he's wanted to say for a very, very long time, from the death of his mother, and he's got lots of things that he's obviously pondered on. But Honey, we're slightly kind of running out of time, but I want to just get your thoughts on this. I mean, they will have, they have a lot of criticism levelled at them. Lots of people really love them, but lots of people absolutely loathe them as well. Yeah. the handling of this book, the fact that it's been leaked, means that, you know, some of the messaging has probably not been controlled in maybe the way they in their publishing house would have wanted it to be. There's quite a lot of mockery.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of ridicule. Do you think that the
Yeah.
celebrities you work with, when they've taken the decision to go all out, are they fully prepared for the slings and arrows that are going to come their way? Do you think that Prince Harry...
This is a really... Yeah, go on. Well, this is a really difficult question, because the truth is they often feel like they are prepared. They often kind of, you know, certainly if anyone's supporting them behind the scenes, certainly if we're supporting them, we'll go through all of the different scenarios, all of the worst case things that can happen. But sadly, what can often happen is that when there is an emotional motivation to tell the world your story, it often is at a time when you're already feeling quite vulnerable, perhaps because of many years of not doing that. And then, of course, when the world, or as you say, there are lots of fans, but there are also lots of people being very vicious, very cruel, very angered by this. And I do get it to some extent. You know, lots of people have had a real strong, powerful emotional reaction to this. It brings up a lot for people who've ever had struggles with their own families and we've had to deal with it, or people who've had things in the military. There's been so many controversial things. So I do understand that it brings up heightened emotions. But actually, any individual, that we are all human, and any individual who is subjected to
Any individual who is subjected to thousands, if not millions, of negative and critical voices coming at them relentlessly is bound to be affected. What human being in the world could endure that without it leaving a mark? This is precisely what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have faced for years. As we unpack their journey, it's clear that their actions stem not from greed or attention-seeking, but from an undeniable drive for truth, justice, and self-empowerment. Let's explore what drives Prince Harry, his revelations, and why his story resonates so deeply with so many, despite the ceaseless criticism from detractors. It's essential to approach this topic with clarity. Prince Harry is a man who has endured unimaginable pain and loss. Losing his mother, Princess Diana, at such a young age, under such tragic and public circumstances, shaped much of his life. The added weight of being a member of the British royal family meant that his grief was neither private nor free from public and media intrusion. Over the years, Harry has chosen to share his story. Critics have dismissed this as a quest for money or relevance, but let's challenge that narrative. Harry and Meghan, as globally recognized figures, have countless ways to generate wealth and maintain relevance. They don't need to share their most vulnerable truths for financial gain. When public figures decide to open up, to share revelations they've never shared before, it's often motivated by an emotional need. For Harry, this is about reclaiming his narrative after years of being misrepresented, silenced, and vilified. It's about telling his story in his own words and on his own terms, rather than letting the tabloids continue to distort it. Harry and Meghan have not only faced media scrutiny, but outright hostility. This isn't just about critical headlines. This is about calculated campaigns to discredit them, isolate them, and question their integrity at every turn. As someone who has spent his entire life under the spotlight, Harry knows better than most what it means to live in the public eye. And while there's a perception that fame and fortune somehow shield individuals from the pain of public criticism, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. We're all human. No matter how famous or influential, no one is immune to the pain of relentless negativity. The emotional toll of being vilified in the press for years cannot be overstated. This is particularly true when the criticism is rooted in falsehoods, invasions of privacy, and deeply personal attacks. Critics often argue that Harry and Meghan should stay silent, implying that speaking out is a betrayal of tradition or duty. But let's be honest. Silence has never protected anyone from harm. Harry and Meghan have been criticised when they speak out, but they were also criticised when they remained silent. It's vital to ask ourselves, who benefits from this constant criticism of Harry and Meghan? The media outlets publishing negative stories, the individuals and institutions seeking to protect their own reputations at the Sussexes' expense? The answer is clear. What Harry and Meghan are doing, sharing their truth, is not about attacking anyone. It's about dismantling the systems that have caused harm to them and countless others. It's about challenging the status quo that allows unethical journalism and unchecked privilege to thrive. Let's turn our attention to the media, a key player in this saga. For years, certain British tabloids have profited off exploiting Harry and Meghan's lives. From phone hacking scandals to fabricated stories, the extent of unethical practices is staggering. Prince Harry's ongoing lawsuit against News Group newspapers is a testament to his resilience. He's not just fighting for himself, he's fighting for all victims of unethical journalism. He's taking on a media empire that has operated without accountability for far too long. And yet, the media continues to twist the narrative, portraying Harry and Meghan as attention-seeking troublemakers. Why? Because their courage threatens the very foundation of tabloid culture, one built on exploitation, scandal, and the suppression of truth. When we look at Harry and Meghan's journey, it's impossible not to admire their courage. They've faced unimaginable challenges, yet they continue to advocate for change, justice, and compassion. Their story isn't just about them, it's about exposing systemic failures within powerful institutions, be it the monarchy, the media, or society at large. It's about inspiring others to stand up for what's right, no matter the cost. Harry and Meghan's story is a powerful reminder of the strength it takes to stand up for your truth. Despite the relentless attacks, they continue to advocate for justice and shine a light on issues that many would prefer to keep in the dark. At Meghan and Harry Tales, we celebrate their courage and resilience. We challenge the critics who seek to tear them down and stand with those who fight for truth, fairness, and accountability. This isn't just Harry and Meghan's fight, it's all of ours.